Hi children, how are you? I hope you are all fine in home. So the COVID-19 made us imprisoned in home. In this time, the video classes are very useful. So don't neglect it. So kindly I advise you to watch all the videos from beginning to end. So this is a golden opportunity to learn through online from home. So don't neglect it. So kindly watch it, all the videos from beginning to end. So today let us see the topic poem. The poem title is The House on Elm Street. It was written by Nadia Bush. So about the author. So author was born on September 24th. Actually, she is the poetess, the senior instructor in the South Alabama University in USA. Where she lives in Somerset in Pennsylvania. Actually, she was asked to write a poem in a communication class. So she wrote it for the students. So actually, which was asked to write in dark theme. So this is a dark theme. It's a kind of horror poem. So which is, we might have come across many horror like this. So now, what kind of horror it is? For example, if you go to the Black Thunder, there is a horror house. Okay, so if you go into what it is inside, if you really, we are very interested, we are very eager to see inside what it is. But when you get in, that's it, that we feel really very horror. So this poem also creates some curiosity, what is happening in a house, and also which makes us to go inside. But when you go inside, so but the fear envelops us not to enter the house. So that kind of poem the author has written here. Actually, she starts the line, it sat alone. The house, actually the house, there was a house on Elm Street. So the house which was very closer to a tree. So the house seems to be very large one, but nobody lives in the house, and also which seems to be alone. Nobody lives like that, and there is no basic necessities in the house, and also it seems to be very dark. So which creates the effect of the horror, fear. So which creates the fear. So the poet also gets scared to that, looking at the building. So but she got interest to go in, what is happening. So but at night the building, the house gets flicker. So lights on, lights off, like the people are inside the house. So every day she passes on the street. Whenever she passes on the street, she was tempted to go inside. But when she thought, but fear enveloped to go inside, so she did not want to enter the house. So particularly in the month of May, it seems to be very brighter. But when she looked at something, she thought something was there. So, and also there was a tree. The tree never grew or never died. There were no leaves even in the summer season, autumn season, and winter season, and spring season. In all the season, there were no leaves on the trees. So all which made the effect to create that feel like a horror, fear, that made us to fear. Okay. Then actually the rumors started, somebody started, gossips are going on. So something is there, something inside the house, somebody is there, like that. The horror was going on, the rumor was going on. So everybody felt not to enter inside the house. So this is a kind of dark theme in this poem. It's a very short and simple poem. So this is the outline, some substance of the poem. The poet very clearly says, so to makes curiosity to go inside the house, but fear envelops. So like that, when we look at the house also, we get scared to go inside. For example, I told you in Black Thunder, if you go there, there is a haunted house and horror house. Two parts are there, but we are very interested to go. But when you go inside, we definitely the fear envelops us. So like this, the poem also, when you go through, you will get such a kind of horror. So this is a dark theme poem, which is a fiction. Fiction, it's a kind of imagination. It is a fantasy poem. It's not a particularly based on something. It's a fantasy. It's a kind of imagination. It's imagination. The poet uses that imagination and writes this. Now let us discuss the poem in detail. Now let's look at the first stanza of the poem. So it sat alone. Here it refers the house. The house, I already told you about the house. That was the house. The house sat alone. That was alone. Here the poet never says it like sitting. It means the house was there. What happened there is still today unknown. Nobody knows what is happening inside the house. That's unknown to anybody. That is the line conveys the meaning. It is a very mysterious place. So mysterious means which cannot be understood easily. We cannot understand what it is. That is called mysterious. So the poet conveys in third line, we cannot understand what is happening in the house. So we cannot say this is what happening in the house. So in third line, the poetess says the mysterious place. It means that is a very strange one. Nobody knows what's happening inside. In fourth line, and inside you can tell. When you look at the house, we can say it has a ton of space. Looking at the house, there must be a lot, very vast space. It would be there, but at the same time, it is bare to the bone. Here the poet says the bare to the bone. It means there is no basic necessities are there in the house. No basic necessities are there. So to human being live, no necessities are there. Then which makes the little effect of fear and horror. It means there is nothing in the house, but there is a large space and it seems to be very mysterious. Nobody lives in, so no one knows and also what is happening inside the house. That is conveyed the first stanza, okay, in the first stanza of the poem. Let us see the next stanza, second stanza. In second stanza, the poet says, at night the house seems to be alive. Lights flicker on and off. So at night it seems to be alive. Alive means somebody is living there. The lights gets blinking on and off, on and off. So the poet thought somebody lives over there. I am often tempted. So tempted means crave something you wanted to do. I am tempted to eat ice cream. It means giving some crave to that. So I am here, poet thought, tempted to go to the house. Actually the poetess thought to go to inside the house to just take a look at and what is really about. Actually she wanted to see what is really happening inside the house. She was very eager. She was very interested. She was very curious to see what is happening inside the house. But fear envelops her. The fear could not allow her to go inside. So she got fear. She scared about the house. So that is conveyed in the second stanza. Let's see the third stanza. I drive fast the house almost every day. Wherever the I comes, which refers the poetess, not poet, poetess. Okay, the poetess drives fast to the house almost every day. So every day she crosses that house and the house seems to be a bit brighter. On the warm summer day in May, one summer month, May month, it seems to be very brighter. The house seems to be so bright. So if you look at that kind of house, but at night only light blinks. But suddenly in the summer it shows very bright, little bit bright. We definitely feel what something is there inside. So it plays with your mind. That means something is there. The poet thought something is there. Something in her mind, something was going on. To me, I say it is one of a kind. So immediately she thought that that was a strange house. Something is happening inside the house. She thought like this. That was very strange. That was a very horror house. She felt so. So here it is one kind, it which refers the house. So kind, one of a kind, it means very strange. It's an unusual house, unusual. That's not very common. So that is referred here. It's a one of a kind. Particularly in the month of summer, it means May month, the house seems to be brighter, little bit brighter. So that made the poet to think what's happening inside the house. Let us see the next stanza. Beside. Beside means by the side. By the side of the house sits a tree. There was a tree. I have already told you. There was a tree, barren tree. Okay. There was a tree. It never grows leaves. There were no leaves on the tree. Almost it is very bare. Okay. No leaves. Even whatever the season it is, whether winter season, spring season, summer or autumn season, whatever the season. Here fall, it means autumn season, autumn. So fall is an American English, autumn is the British English. The poet has used fall as a season. Yet just sits there, never getting small or ever growing tall. It never going small, it never decay and it never become tall also. So it never grows. There were no leaves. So all this makes the effect. That is, the building is something inside there, which was close with a tree. Which gives us, how could this be? While you're looking at that, how could be this? The tree is there, did not grow, did not give leaves, and all these effect made poet to ask this question, how could be this? How could be the tree could be this, like this? So the poet thought like herself, what could be there? Yes. So here it just sits there. Here it refers the tree. So we cannot take sits there. We have to see the context meaning. We should not take the literal meaning. We have to take the context meaning. The context, it means there is a tree which is there. So which never grows small and tall. So immediately the poet asked the question, how could be this? How is it possible? She asked herself this question. Okay, this is a rhetorical question. Let's see the last stanza. So rumors are constantly being made. So rumors means gossips. Sometimes we talk about which is really not, which is not a fact. So we talk like this. This is what happened. So unknowingly the truth, we talk like that. That is called rumor. So the rumor was made about the house. So somebody is there, somebody is living there, the ghost is there. So this kind of rumors created and constantly being made. Constantly means continuously. The gossip was going on. The people started talking like this. So the ghost is inside the house. And each day the house just begins to fade. And every day it started fading. It became dull. Slowly, gradually it becomes dull. What happened inside that house? Immediately the poet asked herself. So the question, what happened inside this house? So what was going on inside the house? She started asking herself. So I really don't know. And she recalls, I don't know really what is happening inside the house. So I here refers the poetess. She really doesn't know what's happening inside the house. I guess it will always be a mystery. Finally, the poet concludes. So she concludes, it will always be a mystery. So it is unknown, cannot be understood what is inside the house. Nobody knows it, nobody cannot understand it. So nobody can't understand this, what's happening inside the house. Finally, here also it refers the house. The house cannot be understood. Mystery means which cannot be understood. So how it is happening, so why it is happening, it is happening, so we cannot understand. So that is the meaning of the mystery. So finally she concludes, she creates the interest about the curiosity about the house. So house, what could be inside the house? Finally, which make us also to what would be there. Maybe the ghost over there or something, some people are living inside the house. Actually we don't know. So the poetess also doesn't know what is inside the house. But she creates some curiosity. What is inside the house? Really we too don't know what is inside the house. So the poet also doesn't know what is inside the house. But the effect which makes us to know what is inside. So the job has done by poetess very well. So that is the completion of the poem. Now let us discuss all the figure of speeches in this poem. Let us see appreciation questions, how to write it. So you have to understand the poem. Unless you cannot write the appreciation questions, you have to look at the poem, you have to understand, and you have to find out the answer from the poem lines. You cannot write in your own. So because the answer is in the poem lines. For example, it sat alone. Here it refers the house. The house. The question has been asked here, what does it refer to? So hit here, so what is the answer? So it's a indirect. Indirectly it is mentioned. It refers to the house. So what does it refer to? The house is referred here. So what is the answer? It refers to the house. That is the answer. And next question, pick out the line. Pick out the line that indicates the size of the house. You have to go through the each and line. It sat alone, and what happened there is still today unknown. It is a very mysterious place, and inside you can tell it has ton of space. So it's a ton of space. So it means there is a very huge, large space is there inside the house that mentioned in the third line. The third line emphasizes the answer. So what is the answer for this? The third line and for that is the answer. The line indicates it has the ton of space. That is the answer. So you have to take out the answer from the poem lines so that you have to understand. If you don't understand, you cannot answer it. So you have to understand the poem. So otherwise it is not possible to write it. You don't need to memorize it. If you understand, you can write it in your own. So look at this. It here refers the house. So simple, it is so easy. So what does it refers? The house. Pick out the line, tons of space. So it is answers are there. If you understand, you can write in your own. There is no need to memorize it. Okay. So you have to understand the complete theme of the poem under each and every line. These lines. So here, to whom does I refer? Here the I refers the poetess. We should not write poet. That's wrong because she is poet. The poetess refers here. So answer is in the poem line. To whom does I refer? I refers to the poetess. Okay, pick out the line alliteration. So what is alliteration? Is repeated consonant sound. A word which begins with the repeated consonant sound. For example, here look at that, bit and brighter. So bit and bright, it's a consonant sound which begins with the consonant sound. So those we have to take away. So bit, brighter. These are the alliterated words. Bit, brighter. These are the alliterated words. And what is the season mentioned? So what is the season mentioned? It's very clear. It is summer season. So we can understand it is a season of summer. Okay. So you have to understand these lines. Then only it is possible to write the answers for the appreciation questions. We cannot expect only from the textbook. Okay. So look at what is alliteration? Repeated consonant sound at the beginning of a word. Each word is called alliteration. Today we discussed the poem The House on Elm Street, which was written by Nadia Bush. We discussed everything in detail, and so we have seen some of appreciation questions also. Tomorrow let us continue the session with figure of speeches, and I just kindly advise you to watch all the videos, not only this video but also all the videos. This is a wonderful opportunity created by our correspondent through the online teaching, which is really gifted to us. So you kindly watch from beginning to end. So let us continue in the next session tomorrow.